Is anybody with me? Let's see if we got any live viewers here. Anyone out there? Let me see. This camera sucks. It's so grainy. I think we got one viewing. I don't know if that's me or... Where is the live chat? Oh, it's right here. There. If no one comes, I might just open it up to live to anyone out there. There's 2 people viewing, so if anybody's viewing right now, and if they're in the chat room, please comment so I see that it's working. If you can, please, please, please. You can see my tan for my sunburn. my eye line from wearing sunglasses. No viewers. Let me see. Hey, is anybody there? Because it says 1 viewer. I'm not sure if you guys can see me or hear me. Zeralath. I might send you an invite to join on StreamYard. How come nobody can comment? It says 2 people are viewing, but nobody's putting any comments in the YouTube private chat. So that's where I'm trying to get to. I don't know why that's not working. It does say 2 people are showing right now. If you guys can leave me a comment on my Patreon, if not, if you can't comment on here. I'm wondering why there's not a live chat right here. There's 2 viewers, so maybe we should just get started. Got some very interesting information that I want to talk about tonight. I just don't know why there's no chat here. There should be like a... I'm typing in the chat section. Maybe I need to go to the YouTube. View on YouTube. And why this is not being able to do a live chat. Unless people aren't typing in, and that's all that's happening. Hopefully that's the deal. Can you guys hear me? Well, we got 4 people watching right now, so I guess they can hear me. If people can hear me, either post a comment or let me know on Patreon in a comment on the post that has the link, because there's 4 people viewing right now, but I'm not sure how I interact with you. There's a chat section here for me, and I'm typing anyone there and all that stuff. So, I think I got it now. Comment like that. Chat delay. What is it? Hopefully people hear me. Well, I'm not going to start talking unless I know people are really are able to hear me the right way. So just no way to count. Okay, thank you, Jessica and Megan. They can hear me, but there's no way to comment. I have a comment thing. Let me see if I can open it up. Let me see. I've never done StreamYard before, and I just figured out how to work my computer the right way with it. See, there's a comment section here. So you guys can comment to show it on screen or something. See, I don't know if you guys need StreamYard or what, but if you guys can hear me, that's cool. So I'll just start talking because I don't want to waste any more time. Let me see. Yeah, there's settings here, but it doesn't say anything about the. Doesn't say anything about people's comments or anything like that. Let me see if anybody. They're gonna try to download StreamYard. Let me see. Maybe I need to make it like public for them to be able to comment on YouTube, but I didn't want to make it public. I wanted to just leave it for my patrons. I wonder if I make it public. Let me see real quick. No, I don't even want to do that. All right, well, I guess you guys, for now, I guess we're not going to be able to have you guys comment. There's only one person in there right now anyway. people left. Sorry. It's all right. Alrighty. Let me see. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait a minute anyway. See if people come back in. I think some people might be downloading StreamYard or something like that. All right, I'm gonna try. See, like I have a chat here. Let me show you guys. See, I could post something like that. I don't know why no one else is allowed to do that. We see someone else commented on Patreon. All right, you know what? Since there's only 2 people in there, let's make it public and see what happens. Just for right now. All right? Because this is interesting information tonight that I wanted to share with you guys, even if it's for 30 minutes or so. Let's change this for a second. People might start joining now. Okay, let me see if it went public. It says error occurred. It won't let me go public right now. What the hell? I don't know if anybody, see, nobody's able to comment still. I can't make it public. I tried to edit it and make it public, and it said YouTube is temporarily won't let me update it. Try it again. Yeah, it says an error occurred on YouTube. This is usually temporary. Wait a moment and then try again later. I tried to make it public for everybody to see if they can do a chat. Let me see if anybody else commented, but otherwise I'm just going to talk for a little bit, let you guys know. All right, so I'm going to give you guys an interesting glimpse into some powerful information, because some of you guys have been following me for a while. Some of you guys are new to me. All right, I think that was my phone. I think my phone goes in line with my or something. Much public again. So I don't know. I can't make it public, so forget it. So you guys, a lot of you guys have been following me for a while now. It's great that I share experiences and all things that I've been through with my research, things that have happened. But all of this, what does it all mean? Like, the reason why we do all this research is we're looking for answers, right? We're looking to answers to some of the spiritual experiences that we've either experienced ourselves or we've heard about, and it rang a bell within us. It awakened something within us that we felt like, that sounds like something that I've either experienced before in another lifetime or in this lifetime, or it makes my whole body respond when I hear that information or something. There's a reason why many of you out there are getting drawn to certain information and certain topics, and it's because there's a little spiritual war happening on our planet, and spiritual war over control of ancient technology that has been put here to help us. Now, from all of my experiences, all of my research that I've done over the last few decades, now and I'm starting some answers. I'm starting to get what happened in my own, and it starts to almost make sense. The ancient screenshot thing that we all looked, and I'm not saying that I have I have everything figured out, because I don't. In fact, the more you learn, the more you realize you don't know how much you don't know. But I'm starting to understand a little bit more and more about what's transpiring on the planet and what's around us, visible force around us, and light bodies, in my opinion, have to do with the harmonic resonance of our planet. This is the way our light bodies move. They work, they can transfer between realms, and how they even pushed into matter on this plane and became who we are, how we fell lower, if you want to say, into a realm of matter. It has to do with the harmonic resonance of our spiritual light body. And I think that our harmonic resonance, the way the harmonic frequency, the vibration frequency of who we are, has been tampered with and it changes who we are genetically, even in our very DNA. And see, tensor tools, crystals, many things can vibrate at a harmonic resonance, especially if you build things to certain measurements, like the sacred cubit. It's very powerful. And I believe that this harmonic resonance on our planet is tampered. It's somehow tampered with, and somehow has trapped us in the physical, not being able to connect to our higher consciousness the way we should in our light bodies. And we should be able to connect to our whole bioenergetic field and transform into a light body. That's part of who we are. That's part of our eternal memory. And I think that there's technology on our planet, that there's a war over control over certain technologies. And one of them is the crystal skulls. One of them is the crystal skulls, the ancient crystal skulls and modern day crystal skulls. And the megalithic sites, around the same time that I had a near-death experience as a kid, also a knowing came over me that somehow the experiences that I've been through, things that I've been experiencing, my music, and eventually later on, I figured out the UFO experiences and experiences with the felines were all connected intimately. And then I started to realize that my music and my creativity, my spiritual energy that I generate, the raw vibes and emotion that come out of me spiritually when I'm being creative, it opens up the unseen, invisible forces around us. And there's invisible beings that get drawn to that energy of certain people that emanate and emit their light energy, their light bodies. And there's some sort of transition that takes place. Oh, see, now somebody some chats are coming through. Here we go. See? Finally, cool. There we go. Finally got it figured out. I don't know if you guys just commented now, but we got it. We got it. It's coming through. Thank you, everybody. So I'm finally getting some answers, because it's, you could be a storyteller. You could tell a million stories. You could do so much research and talk about the research. But to have actual answers and stuff to start to make sense and come together is truly remarkable. And this is the time and this is the place right now where we have to start finding some answers to change who we are, to help. And the way things are right now on the earth, it looks like there's no way out. It looks like for us to achieve a higher level of consciousness on our planet will be impossible. But I'm seeing somewhere by 2040, we will be completely at a higher, different level of consciousness. It's up to us whether we're controlled by a super artificial intelligence, or we actually are able to connect to our 4D, 5D light body selves, And I think that there's many different ways we can interface and elevate to that harmonic resonance once again of our light bodies. And I think one of these ancient technologies that does that is the crystal skulls. And I'm going to share some interesting information with you guys tonight. And hopefully you guys, it comes in clear and everybody can get this. I mean, there's only a few of us right now. I know it was a last minute spur of the moment, and there's many times I said I was going to do a stream and it didn't happen. So hopefully people that are here tonight, they get to hear it and they can really understand it, and it starts to make sense for them, because I've talked about it on my show before, that even the bumblebee, the way the bumblebee elevates and moves and travels is through a harmonic resonance. And I do believe our light bodies are like that. In 1987, and it's 11:11 p.m. right now, right? When I had my near-death experience, I was in some sort of memory water, literally. And I was out with my arms, and look at all the mosquito bites I got. Check that out. Yeah, you can see that on the camera. Look at that. All these mosquito bites I got today. Sucks. I got them all over too, look. Crazy. Mosquitoes are wicked here. Even my daughter's got them on her legs. But I was in this memory water, and my arms and legs were out, and I had to level my skull and my body like I was in a carpenter's level, like the bubble in a carpenter's level, out for me to awaken. And during around this same time was when I started to have interesting experiences telepathically, psychically, and when I started searching for answers, even at that young age. And my research sort of progressed. But once I had an experience with the feline energy in actual 3D, you know, around that same time after I had a near-death experience, I became a musician, basically. I was looking and hearing music in a completely different way. I always liked music. I always loved music. But I was more of an athlete until about 10 years old. Just straight sports, martial arts and sports. I was in karate, all of this stuff. But around 1987, 1988, music just exploded in my body. And I was hearing all the different parts of music separately when I would hear it. Everything was just way different. And around that same time, when I started playing guitar and I started picking up instruments and I started making my own music and writing my own music, I felt invisible beings, invisible forces that I couldn't quite put my finger on at the time around me. And it felt like I was almost like on a galactic stage, playing for some sort of galactic judges, almost like a tribunal of galactic forces around me. And I'd be all alone in my room and feeling like I'm on stage, like I can't even mess up and make a mistake. Like it was like this unbelievable focus that came over me, and this feeling like I'm being watched by kings and queens. Something like you know, almost like I'm a court jester, and there'll be punishment if I messed up. Like that important. Something that important. And I don't know why it became like that to me, but it sometimes I would be playing and it would be just practice. I would be just messing around in my room. But then there would be this shift of energy that took place around me, a feeling of elation as well, almost like I'm weightless playing, but the weight, the only weight I felt was the weight of not messing up. Like my body, my fingers playing on the guitar, I felt none of that. My fingers wouldn't get tired. I could play for hours. None of that I felt. But I felt the stress of the performance and the mental heat, the mental fire. Like my head would get hot. My head would feel like it's almost cooking, you know? And afterwards, I felt like I just took the hardest exam in my life. I would feel really drained and just pass out. And this started happening around middle school. And throughout my life, I've had certain UFO experiences. I've seen them. And in 2002, 2003, I saw a feline-headed silhouette. I didn't see the actual features of the face across the apartment, across the alley from me. It's level-eyed with my apartment window that I was in Long Beach, and I was playing guitar, and that feeling just came over. Like everything just slowed down, and I looked out the window, and it turned its head and looked directly at me. Like it was a side profile at first, and then it turned its head, and it was a lion's feline type head. and on a humanoid body going down. I only saw like from like this, from the chest up, right? And its head was like 3 times the size as ours. It was very wide, and it looked at me in like slow motion. I could not see the eyes though, but I saw the whole outline of the head. It freaked me out kind of, but I was in a calm state. But in fact, afterwards, I just went right to sleep. But the next morning, I was freaked out when I woke up. I was like, what the hell was that? And so I went across the alley, and I walked up I went to the fire escape. I walked up to where that room is, and I looked in, and it was an abandoned apartment. Nobody lives in there. It was for rent. It was, unoccupied right now. So something was occupying and beamed itself within that apartment that night. And ever since that night, I had a knowing, not only just a knowing, but telepathic visits from these feline races. And then I started to understand the music I was playing, those feelings I was getting. It was because that's when they were watching. That's when they were around. And they were actually almost like a drug. They were actually absorbing, I guess you could say, my spiritual energy and in ecstasy over it, and using it like as food. And it would drain me, and that's why I would be completely drained after. And that was just the knowing that came after me. So I'm not saying these are, because some of them are beautiful experiences telepathically, but you need to be apprehensive with any and all encounters with certain beings like this, and you need to test these encounters. Anything you encounter, you need to test them and see if they are legitimately part of the higher consciousness network, or if they some sort of overlay of technology that is replicating spiritual experiences and dogmatic religions and different things that they can pluck out of the eternal memory of humanity. Now, right around the same time as I started learning music was when the first time I heard about crystal skulls in the late 80s, early 90s. It actually through, I think the first time I heard about it was the Mitch's Hedges skull that I read about in, I don't know if it was a Unsolved Mysteries magazine or some sort of magazine. But I remember when I first saw the Mitch's Hedges skull, I felt it in my chest. I felt it in a certain remembrance, aroma from the past came over me. And it literally came into my whole being. And my fascination with crystal skulls started there. And throughout high school, I got sidetracked with the drugs and my band and girls and all this stuff. So it wasn't until my 20s where I really started to accept my calling and my heritage and understand the hereditary background and not be embarrassed by it or whatever you want to say, because it's been shunned upon, and not only in my family, in other families, and shrouded in secrecy to be a part of a lineage that is involved in mysticism, even Roman Catholic mysticism or Strega mysticism. The whole term witch has been demonized, just like the skull. The skull is part of our anatomy, right? So why do people, when they see a skull of bones or a skull of crystal skulls, they immediately think doom and death? So why not the rest of the skeleton? People are afraid of death. This is one of the main reasons. And when they see a skull of bone, especially, it makes them think of death and thinks of their own mortality, and makes them think, of a decaying body, of a dead body. And it's also programming, specifically turning humanity away from knowledge of the crystal skulls. So people get pulled away from it, and they're programmed to automatically think it's evil when they see a skull. And there's been some ancient crystal skulls that I feel are from If you want to say, we don't know for sure, because you can't say Atlantis or Mu or Lemuria and know for sure. But if those are the names of some ancient civilizations that have been here once before, I do feel they are from ancient scientists, and that they are from another dimension, so to say, from a higher dimension of 4D or 5D. And this is the physical matter version of that multi-dimensional memory computer, if you want to say. And there's actually a galactic network of skulls that I've seen telepathically that are all sizes of all different beings. There's feline skulls, there's reptilian skulls, gray-looking skulls, almost like I think it's in Peru, or I don't know if it's Machu Picchu or not Machu Picchu, but there's one place where they have all these different faces of all different races, even one that looks like a gray alien. There's a crystal skull chamber like that as well. And there's certain crystal skulls that have been seeded here for humanity, to help humanity have a wave of consciousness come over them, like a DMT awakening for the whole planet. People that are there that can spiritually accept it and are ready for it. And I think that's one of the ways we can raise our harmonic frequency and our light bodies and communicate with that as well. And I from my research, I feel that the whole idea of the Merkaba, it's been manipulated and talked about in metaphysics, all different ways, but forget about the name. There is some sort of built-in technology that we have that connects us to our light body. And it has to do with the bioenergetic field, auric field around us. And there's some sort of resonance frequency that our physical body connects to that puts us in a cage-like holographic structure that protects who we are, protects our physical body, our matter. And from there, we're spun until we reach a certain harmonic frequency that puts us into the free zone, puts us into the 0 point zone, until we are a glowing luminous sphere, some sort of plasmic orb, a glowing Merkava, if you want to say. And I do feel that we have a technology that we can access that can bring us to there, back to physical. And it's I think it has to do with our harmonic frequency. And I do feel that crystal skulls are involved in that. And in 2015, right before I was about to be a guest on a show, I had a UFO experience that I don't think was actually so to say UFO. I think they were glowing light bodies, Merkavas, or whatever you want to call, pulsating, vibrating. And somehow I knew that it was involved these felines. And after that, I was drawn to go to the feline catstone in North Salem. And people have heard me talk about it before. Next time I'll have this share screen up better so we can do it. The North Salem catstone, or balanced rock, you guys can look out. I talked about it before. You guys probably, if you guys are watching, you probably know which stone I'm talking about. Megalithic pink granite, 90 tons, balancing on smaller stones. I have come to find out that this is a healing chamber. It's a memory chamber, and it has to do with water memory. Even the water in your body is affected by laying underneath this dolmen. And when I got there, something told me to bring my crystal skull. And I'm going to give you guys a glimpse into three of my special crystal skulls that I have tonight before we close. A glimpse into some of the ones that have found me and have come to me, because I've wanted to buy some over time and this and that, but then certain ones just found me the right way. And I think that's how it has to work. And after I had that UFO type Merkava experience, and I was just about to be on a show called The Cosmic Switchboard with James Bartley. 5 minutes before, I was on a show that's like about reptilians and UFOs. I had this experience. That's no coincidence. After that, I was drawn to the catstone. And when I brought my crystal skull to this megalithic dolmen, underneath this dolmen. And if you guys look at my website, themysticalspiral.com, and go to the menu, you'll see one of the pages is Ra's music, the felines, and Megalithic Secrets. I have it all updated as of today. That has more intense pictures, one of them being where I put the crystal skull. Now, underneath this dolmen, underneath this 90 tons of pink granite that's in the shape of a feline humanoid skull with a headdress on, like a pharaoh's headdress, you can lay beneath it. It's like a healing chamber, literally. And I know, not only from dowsing with a pendulum at the site, but from telepathic communications, that there is hidden chambers beneath this site, water chambers. And it's an aquafire memory system. And it's a multi-dimensional anchor of energy and one of the true wonders of North America, if not the whole world. It's one of the most amazing dolmens in the whole world. Yes, in the whole world. And it's right here in New York State, 30 miles from Manhattan. And I brought my crystal skull, and beneath this dolmen, it's balancing on about 5 or 6 smaller stones, barely touching the edges. One of these stones that it's balancing on has another little stone next to it that's not touching the actual structure. It's like beneath it and next to one of the stones that it's balancing on. It's another stone right there. And on the top of it has a bowl that's carved out. It's like a stone bowl, like a ritual bowl carved out. And, you know, people charge seeds there. They put different things there. Some people put water bottle there or water there to charge it and sort of like clean the water, give it a better potency and freshness, right? Same thing as we do with tensor tools. Like I have this amazing water, I call it my water bender ring. Now this fits perfectly around a regular water bottle. See? Perfectly around the regular water bottle. And it is the sacred cubit. You guys can see the wrap. It's the sacred cubit. There's different gauges that you can make of the sacred cubit to have different field of influence. But this is the sacred cubit, which is at 144 megahertz, which is the harmonic frequency, resonant frequency of light speed, harmonic light speed. And it's incorporated within the Great Pyramid design as well, right? So similar to like what we do with structuring water with these water rings, they do at the North Salem Catstone. And I decided to put my crystal, when I saw that stone bowl, I knew it was meant for my crystal skull. So I brought this crystal skull. Now I'm going to give you guys a special rare access. I've taken some pictures of them in the past, and I've showed a glimpse of them on videos, but I've never given someone exclusive access to the information that I'm going to share with you guys right now and show you up close and personal. This is very interesting. When I saw that stone bowl beneath this dolmen, I knew it was meant for my one crystal skull that I have. And I knew it was for it. And when I put it in there, a bigger skull wouldn't have fit. A normal sized human-headed skull would have hung out off the edges, and it wouldn't have fit. It would have gone there, but it wouldn't have locked into place and fit in it so perfectly. When I put my crystal skull in there, it locked into place, almost like it clicked, like set right in there, like it was grooved in to fit perfectly. I put it right in there, and immediately I went white, almost like if you get a concussion and you get punched in the face and everything goes white real quick. Everything went white. Immediately, goosebumps went all over my body. Everything went white for a flash second, and I saw holographic codes everywhere, light codes everywhere, not only telepathically, but just everywhere. I looked like it was a white screen, and I just saw all these holographic symbols for a split second, and then everything went back to normal. Then I laid beneath this dolmen where my skull was in place in that stone bowl, and I felt the water in my body being downloaded, and I saw it literally running like digital water throughout my crystal skull. And I know ancient knowledge was downloaded in that crystal skull. And I know it was inside of me as well. And after that, about a year later, I was led to another crystal skull that has an elongated head. Maybe that's why they wear that pharaoh dress on that, that pharaoh headdress is sort of for the elongated head. So I found another crystal skull that was just, I knew it was for me, made of labradorite. And when I received it, immediately a knowing came over me that this is a psychic guardian for my other skull, that they go hand in hand, that it's a psychic protector for the higher knowledge that's in my other skull. And I know that eventually I'm going to get a regular sized human skull as well that's going to come to me. I already see it, and I already know. And I know it's most likely going to be something like lapis lazuli or some sort of purplish blue or some sort of thing like that. And I see it, and it's like a human size. Now I also put a smaller lapis lazuli crystal skull next to, not inside the bowl like the other one, but behind it. So I feel that that skull as well was charged with special energy, because when I work with it now, amazing information gets flooded to me. And I was able to communicate with a 6-foot crystal man that showed me many things the other night in a dream. I'm going to share with you guys these skulls now. This is going to be exclusive access right here before we close. And hold tight. Let me just grab them. So first, this is a very small crystal skull. And guys, I just got whole new crystal skulls in for my website. The ones I sell on my website have never had an owner before. They're brand new. They were just carved in Brazil. And I think they were made in 2017 or 2018. A lot of the crystal skulls out there are made in either Germany or Brazil, you'll find. For some reason, there's a lot being made from Germany as well. This one I have here, I got about 10 years ago. And it's very unique, and it's very small, and it's lapis lazuli. Now, very rare that it has even the mouth open. This is very powerful. This one was at the North Salem Catstone as well. And you can see it has the elongated, there's several types of elongated skulls. One is like my labradorite that I'll get to, but this is another kind of elongated skull here. And you can see it has the elongated bottom part. Let me show you right here. See this bottom part? It's elongated down here. It's the elongated bottom part of this of the skull. That's very interesting on this one. And this is very similar. See that elongated bottom part? This is very similar to the ancient crystal skull that they call the Mayan skull, and the ancient crystal skull that they call the amethyst skull, or AMI, A-M-I. They both have the elongated bottom part of the skull, like this one. And this is a very powerful crystal skull of lapis lazuli. And I like working with this skull. Some people cannot work with these skulls. Crystal skulls are not for everybody. After some of my, thank you, Melinda. And I love all the comments that people put, so keep them coming. Some people can't work with skulls. But I knew from a young age that I'm a protector of skulls, and it's part of my genetic past. And at one time, I was in Egypt and Tibet and many other places, even India, related to crystal skulls. In fact, my brother got a 23andMe chromosome test. I would never do that, but I know what I am. But it's very interesting. 90% of our DNA, me and my brother and sister, my parents, well, me and my brother and sister have the same. 90% of our DNA is from areas throughout Italy, like like 50% from Sicily, 30% from like near middle southern Italy, and then the rest from northern Italy. And then we have 5% Coptic Egyptian and 5% Northern African, Nubian, or Moors. It's most likely the Moors because, my mother's maiden name was Morrow, which is the Moors. And it was cut down from Di Morrow, which means of the Moors, of the dark, right? Of the Moors. They were an African tribe. So I'm 5% North African and 5% Coptic Egyptian, and the rest is all from Italy. It's very, very interesting. There was like point something percent Middle Eastern as well. I think everybody has a little bit of that in them. So that was my lapis lazuli, my powerful. This is very powerful, right? And then this is the skull. This is my my prized piece for right now. And this was the skull that I locked into place at the North Salem Catstone. And it's a very, very powerful skull. And I'm sharing it with just my patrons now on video. And there's ancient knowledge within this skull. You're going to feel it within yourself when you see it. You're going to feel it vibrating within you. If you have any psychic, kinetic energy, and you're not just completely worn out right now, and you're vibing, you're going to feel it. Now this is very powerful. And this has the normal human back of the skull. It's not elongated. This is basically the size of like a newborn baby. If you try to purchase one of these, it would go from anywhere from $200 to $350. Maybe somewhere you can find them some cheaper, but very rare that you find it like this. I mean, the work in this is amazing. Very human looking. Very powerful. See the size with this one too compared to the lapis lazuli. And now we have my sacred guardian of this skull. And this is my labradorite. This is another version of a different kind of elongated skull. This is more like a Peru elongated skull or Akhenaten elongated skull. And this is my labradorite. And I don't know if you're going to be able to see the amazing sheen the way it is on this, but there's amazing sheen all over this. And this one is about 6.5 inches. And is the psychic guardian of my other skull. You see, very otherworldly, alien looking. You can see the massive elongated skull on this as well. And the labradorite on this is truly amazing. There's a big sheen that goes over the third eye, and it glows. It glows when you're telepathically working with this over the third eye and over the back where the Lutz bone is. It glows. And there's a strong vibe from this. Yes. Very, very powerful. I would suggest if people work with labradorite like this, you keep, because that's connection to higher consciousness, spiritual energy, auric energy. And so you stay grounded during this. I would keep a piece of smoky quartz between your feet while you work with the labradorite to keep you grounded to earth. A piece of smoky quartz, even a small piece of smoky quartz like this, or something small like this, smoky quartz will keep you grounded to earth. You know, kyanite is good to work with as well. Amazing kyanite. I have huge pieces of kyanite. Before we close, I'm going to show you guys. We're going to close in about 2 minutes. I'm going to show you guys some of the kyanite real quick. Big kyanite that we just got in that's going to be on our website. So that's a really amazing access into some of my personal collection of crystal skulls. You see the sheen now. The camera doesn't do it justice right now because it's really amazing sheen. And this skull, when I showed it to you, immediately I heard in my mind that it was going on shut-off mode. Literally protecting itself from releasing any information out there. I felt it, and this is our psychic guardian of that skull. These two go hand in hand. And the proof that my water rings work, you know, I had one of these water rings over this Sky Raw water, and it's been on there for about an hour. You could tell it has a more liveliness and better taste to the water. And if there's acidic water, it'll make it, you know, regular, if not slightly pH, higher pH, you know. So very powerful, those water rings. So I'll show you guys a little quick example before we close here. This is, I have many of these specimens of kyanite. Some of these are up to a pound. Just powerful, powerful specimens of kyanite and quartz. Lemurian quartz and kyanite. These are very rare, highest grade, very powerful. Once in a lifetime purchases, for sure. We even have kyanite wands, massive wands. Like these. This is the Dick and Bowls. Very, very powerful. We also have smaller kyanite clusters like these and regular pieces of kyanite. I'm the kyanite master, pushing weight from state to state with kyanite. Smoky quartz. This is my little dog man of smoky quartz. Look at this. So thank you everybody for joining us. Yeah, thank you, Melinda. Those will be up on my website soon, the big kyanite specimens. I'm not sure how we're going to do it with the weight yet or how we're going to charge them. So these are definitely once in a lifetime purchases. These are specimens, you know, for sure. And they definitely deserve the right home. So also, guys, we have all sorts of bracelets. These water rings can be worn also as bracelets, and it helps with the water memory in your body, right? The sacred cubit bracelets. We also have the lost cubit bracelet, and the work on this copper is truly amazing. Very proud of it. You can see the amazing work on this. Look at that. That's amazing. This is the lost cubit, which is at 177 megahertz, a little higher resonant frequency than the sacred cubit. Sacred cubit is at harmonic light speed, 144 megahertz. This is at 177 megahertz, which connects to your harmonic resonance of your DNA and your auric field. And then there's the lost cubit. Also, this is my Trumpets of Light Ankh. Very special piece. Very, very special piece. One of my specialties. And we also have the Ra Mu cubit and the Empowerment cubit bracelet as well. They're all different twists, different cubits. And you can see the amazing work on that copper. Very proud of this. And another sacred cubit is the tensor ring with the infinity. They come together. The Merkava infinity package. Quantum Merkava infinity piece comes with the necklace material, so you can wear as a pendant as well. Very powerful. Connects you to your higher light body, higher self. All sorts of healing properties. The beam of energy that comes out of the force field created interacts with the electrons, expanding the electrons and bringing light energy. So thank you, everybody, for joining us. We're going to be doing these weekly chats now on StreamYard. Some will be for all my patrons, and some will be just for my higher subscribers. So, guys, thank you for joining me. I really appreciate you all. Thank you for subscribing and being patrons. I love you guys all. We're part of the Mystical Spiral family. Akaita TV, Masaki, Melinda, Zeralath, Megan, Jessica, who, if anybody else is out there, thank you for joining. I love you guys all. And Spiral out.